Life will test you with setbacks, disappointments, and moments where it feels like everything is against you. That's a guarantee. But the real question is, how do you respond? Do you let life break you, or do you use these challenges to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient? Mentally strong people don't crumble under pressure. They don't allow fear, doubt, or negativity to control them. Instead, they build a mindset that enables them to face anything with clarity, confidence, and inner peace. This isn't about pretending life is easy. It's about mastering yourself so that no matter what happens, you remain unshaken. The ancient Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man of his time, wrote to himself daily, reminding himself that life is unpredictable, hardships are inevitable, but his response was always within his control. He knew that true strength doesn't come from avoiding difficulties, but from training the mind to rise above them. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. The 6 habits that separate the mentally strong from everyone else aren't just theories. They are practical, battle-tested principles that you can start applying today to build an unshakable mindset. So, stay with me until the very end because every single point we're about to discuss is crucial. Don't skip around, or you might miss the key that could change everything for you. And if you appreciate what we're doing here, I have one simple, free favor to ask. Hit that subscribe button. It takes just a second, but it makes a huge difference in helping us continue bringing you valuable content. Now let's dive in. Nothing in life stays the same. The seasons change, people come and go, and the world keeps moving, whether we're ready for it or not. Yet, so many of us resist change, as if clinging to what's familiar will somehow stop the inevitable. But let me ask you this. Has holding on ever made life easier? Or has it only made transitions more painful? We fear change because it forces us out of our comfort zones. It disrupts our routines, shakes our sense of control, and makes us question where we're headed. But here's the truth. Change is not the enemy. The real danger lies in resisting it because the more you fight against reality, the more suffering you create for yourself. The ancient Stoics understood this well. They didn't waste energy wishing things were different. Instead, they trained themselves to adapt, to see every shift in life as an opportunity rather than a threat. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, ruled an empire through war, plague, and betrayal. He could have spent his days complaining, asking, "Why is this happening to me?" But instead, he reminded himself, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the very obstacles we fear are often the path forward. If we learn to work with change instead of against it, we become stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling whatever life throws at us. Think about it. When has something unexpected forced you to grow? Maybe it was losing a job, and a relationship, or moving to a new place. At first, it probably felt overwhelming, even painful. But looking back, did it also shape you into who you are today? The problem is, we often only see the wisdom in change after we've survived it. But what if we could shift our mindset while we're going through it? What if, instead of resisting, we asked ourselves, what is this teaching me? How can I use this to my advantage? The Stoics had a saying, amor fati, which means love your fate. Not just accept it, not just tolerate it. Love it. Love the challenges. Love the unexpected detours. Love the things that push you to grow, even when they don't feel good in the moment. Because every change, no matter how difficult, is shaping you into someone stronger. And here's the key. Mentally strong people lean into discomfort. They don't wait for perfect conditions to take action. They don't waste energy wishing things would go back to the way they were. Instead, they adapt. They adjust their sails to the winds of change rather than fighting the current. And in doing so, they remain steady no matter how stormy life gets. So, the next time change comes knocking, and it will pause for a moment, instead of reacting with fear, ask yourself, how can I use this? Because when you stop resisting change, you start mastering it. And that's the mindset that will carry you through anything. Have you ever had a moment where your emotions got the best of you? Where anger led to an argument you later regretted? Or fear held you back from taking an opportunity that could have changed your life? We've all been there. Emotions are powerful, And when left unchecked, they can control our actions, dictate our decisions, and even shape the course of our lives. But here's the thing. Mentally strong people don't let their emotions control them. They control their emotions. That doesn't mean they suppress what they feel. Stoicism isn't about becoming an emotionless robot. It's about mastering your reactions. The Stoics understood that emotions themselves aren't the problem. It's our response to them that determines whether they serve us or destroy us. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about the last time someone said something that irritated you. Maybe it was a rude comment, an unfair criticism, or even just someone cutting you off in traffic. What was your first instinct? To react immediately? To lash out? That's what most people do. But what if, instead, you pause for a second and ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will this matter tomorrow? That small pause, that moment of awareness, is the difference between being ruled by your emotions and mastering them. Seneca, another great Stoic, advised that when anger rises, don't act on it right away. Give it time to settle. Because in the heat of the moment, we often make choices we later regret. And isn't that true? How many times have we said or done something in an emotional state, only to look back and wish we had handled it differently? The truth is, emotions are like the weather, unpredictable, constantly changing, and often beyond our control. But just like a sailor doesn't try to control the wind, we shouldn't try to suppress our emotions. Instead, we should learn to navigate them. A skilled sailor adjusts their sails, knowing that the storm will pass. And in the same way, mentally strong people acknowledge their emotions but refuse to let them steer the ship. Now, does this mean we should ignore how we feel? Not at all. The Stoics weren't about denying emotions, but rather understanding them. When fear shows up, ask, what is this fear trying to tell me? When sadness appears, ask, what lesson is hidden here? Emotions can be teachers, if we learn to listen without letting them take over. And here's where it gets really powerful. Once you realize that, you decide how to respond. Nothing can shake you. Insults lose their sting. Failures become stepping stones, and unexpected events no longer throw you off balance because you understand that your power lies in your reaction, not in the event itself. So, the next time you feel anger, fear, or frustration rising, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you are in control. Your emotions do not define you. Your actions do. And the stronger your ability to manage your emotions, the stronger you become in every aspect of life. Your time and energy are your most valuable resources, yet they're also the easiest to give away. Every day, people pull you in different directions. Work demands your attention. Friends ask for favors. Family needs your support. And social media constantly fights for a piece of your mind. Before you know it, you're exhausted, stretched thin, and left with nothing for yourself. But here's the truth. Mentally strong people don't let the world dictate where their energy goes. They set boundaries and protect their space like their life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. The Stoics understood this well. They believe that our most precious asset isn't money or possessions. It's our inner peace. And yet, most of us give it away without thinking twice. Seneca warned against this when he said, people are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. You become. If you surround yourself with negativity, constant obligations, and distractions, your mind absorbs that energy. But when you protect your space, prioritize your well-being, and surround yourself with the right influences, you cultivate strength, clarity, and peace. If someone tried to take money from your pocket, you'd resist. Yet, when people take your time, your most irreplaceable asset, you give it away freely. Why? Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's the fear of disappointing others. Maybe it's a habit of always putting others first. But here's the thing. Saying yes to everyone else all the time means saying no to yourself. Mentally strong people don't do that. They understand that without clear boundaries, they'll never have the time or energy to focus on what truly matters, whether that's their goals, their health, or their peace of mind. So how do you start setting boundaries? First, recognize that it's not selfish. It's necessary. Saying no to something that drains you doesn't mean you don't care. It means you value yourself enough to protect your well-being. You wouldn't let someone walk into your home and trash the place. So why let people invade your mental space with negativity, unnecessary obligations, or constant distractions? One of the biggest misconceptions about boundaries is that they push people away. But in reality, the right people respect boundaries. The ones who don't, they were never meant to have full access to you in the first place. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In other words, the people and energy you allow into your life shape who you become. Fingers or dwell on how things should have been. But mentally strong people don't waste time on what they can't control. They focus on what they can. If you constantly surround yourself with stress, drama, and obligations that don't serve you, don't be surprised if you feel drained, anxious, or lost. Setting boundaries isn't about shutting people out. It's about ensuring you have enough energy for what truly matters. So how do you do that? First, identify what truly matters to you. What are your priorities? What fuels your energy instead of depleting it? Once you're clear on that, it becomes easier to say no to everything that doesn't align with those values. Next, practice the art of saying no without over-explaining. You don't owe anyone a detailed justification for protecting your time. A simple, "I can't commit to that right now," is enough. And most importantly, don't feel guilty. Protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's self-respect. If you don't prioritize yourself, no one else will do it for you. When you stop saying yes to every demand and start saying yes to yourself, you'll notice something incredible. You feel lighter, more focused, and in control of your life. And that, my friend, is the foundation of true mental strength. Life doesn't always go the way we want. We face setbacks, make mistakes, and sometimes find ourselves in situations that feel unfair. It's easy to blame circumstances, point fingers, or dwell on how things should have been. But mentally strong people don't waste time on what they can't control. They focus on what they can. Mentally strong people don't waste time making excuses. They take full responsibility for their actions, their choices, and ultimately, their lives. The Stoics believe that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Epictetus put it best when he said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." That's what real strength looks like: owning your decisions, learning from your mistakes, and refusing to see yourself as a victim of life's circumstances. Think about the most successful, resilient people you know. Do they sit around complaining about how unfair life is? Or do they take action, adjust, and find a way forward? The difference between those who grow and those who stay stuck isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's responsibility. When you own your actions, you take back your power. When you blame others, you give that power away. But taking responsibility doesn't mean being overly critical of yourself or beating yourself up for past mistakes. That's not the point. The goal isn't to drown in guilt. It's to learn and improve. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, believed that every failure was an opportunity for self-reflection. He advised that at the end of each day, we should review our actions and ask, what did I do well? What could I have done better? What will I improve tomorrow? That's how you grow, by being honest with yourself, not as a way to punish yourself, but as a way to evolve. Compassion. They understand that growth doesn't come from self-criticism, but from self-reflection and learning. The way you speak to yourself matters. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you always mess up, or that you'll never succeed, your mind starts to believe it. But what if you shifted that inner dialogue? What if, instead of beating yourself up, you spoke to yourself the way you would encourage a friend? Mistakes and failures are a part of life. No one is perfect, and no one gets everything right the first time. The strongest people aren't those who never fall. They're the ones who get back up, learn from their experiences, and keep moving forward. When you fail at something, instead of saying, "I'll never get this right," try asking, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve?" That small shift in mindset makes all the difference. Think about the people you admire, those who have achieved great things or overcome incredible challenges. Do you think they never made mistakes? Of course they did, but they didn't let failure define them. They used it as fuel to grow. The next time you catch yourself in negative self-talk, pause. Would you say the same thing to someone you love? If not, don't say it to yourself. Because at the end of the day, mental strength isn't about being perfect. It's about being kind to yourself, learning from your experiences, and continuing to move forward no matter what. And growth can thrive. When you forgive yourself for past mistakes, learn from them, and move forward with purpose, you become stronger, not weaker. Think of a child learning to walk. They stumble, fall, and get back up again, never once thinking, maybe I'm just not meant to walk. But as adults, we often let one failure convince us that we're incapable. The truth is, setbacks are just part of the process. They aren't a reflection of your worth or potential. They're opportunities to refine your approach. So the next time you catch yourself being overly critical, pause. Ask yourself, would I speak to a loved one this way? If the answer is no, then change your inner dialogue. Replace self-judgment with self-encouragement. Speak to yourself with the same patience and kindness you'd offer to someone you care about. Because in the end, true mental strength isn't about never failing. It's about how you rise after you fall. And the more you practice self-compassion, the stronger and more unstoppable you become. Confidence and self-respect can flourish when you learn to be kind to yourself. The first step is to pay attention to your inner dialogue. When negative self-talk arises, pause and ask yourself, would I say this to someone I care about? If the answer is no, then why say it to yourself? Instead of dwelling on mistakes, view them as learning experiences. As Seneca wisely said, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Every challenge and failure is shaping you into a stronger version of yourself. Growth takes time, and progress is not always immediate, but as long as you keep moving forward, you are on the right path. The next time you feel tempted to criticize yourself, take a deep breath and reframe your thoughts. Instead of saying, I should have done better, try, I'm learning and improving. Instead of thinking, I always mess up, remind yourself, this is a setback, not a defeat. Small shifts in language can make a world of difference. In the end, the strongest people aren't those who never fall, but those who fall, get up, and keep moving without tearing themselves down in the process. That is the true power of self-compassion long as you live. Keep learning how to live. This mindset allows you to remain open to new ideas, perspectives, and growth opportunities. Second, embrace challenges as learning experiences. Instead of avoiding difficulties, see them as chances to sharpen your skills, expand your knowledge, and develop resilience. The obstacles you face are not roadblocks, but stepping stones to greater wisdom. Third, make reflection a daily practice. Take time to evaluate your actions, thoughts, and decisions. What went well? What could be improved? What lessons can you carry forward? This habit ensures that every experience contributes to your ongoing development. Finally, surround yourself with people who inspire growth. Engage in meaningful conversations, read thought-provoking books, and seek mentors who push you to expand your thinking. The company you keep influences the person you become. At the end of the day, growth is not about reaching a final destination. It is about committing to continuous improvement. Those who never stop learning never stop evolving, and those who never stop evolving never truly fail. The path to wisdom, success, and fulfillment is not about knowing everything, but about never losing the curiosity and courage to keep learning through discipline, challenge, and persistence. The more you expose yourself to difficulties, the more resilient and adaptable you become. Fourth, surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. The company you keep shapes your mindset, beliefs, and ambitions. If you spend time with those who are complacent, negative, or resistant to change, you'll likely adopt the same mindset. But if you surround yourself with those who push boundaries, seek knowledge, and embrace growth, you'll naturally rise to their level. Finally, never let ego stand in the way of learning. The moment you believe you know everything is the moment you stop evolving. True wisdom comes from recognizing how much there is still to discover. Socrates, one of the greatest philosophers, famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." Stay humble, stay curious, and never stop learning. Because the moment you stop growing, you stop truly living. Discipline, challenge, and continuous improvement are essential for personal growth. One of the biggest obstacles to learning is believing that you already know enough. The wisest individuals never assume they have everything figured out. Instead, They ask questions, listen more than they speak, and stay open to new perspectives, even those that challenge their existing beliefs. This mindset of humility and curiosity is what allows mentally, emotionally, and intellectually strong people to keep growing. At the end of the day, life rewards those who are willing to adapt. The world is constantly changing, industries evolve, and people grow. Those who refuse to evolve with it will find themselves left behind, while those who commit to lifelong learning, embrace challenges, and remain curious will continue to thrive. Life is not about avoiding hardship. It is about becoming strong enough to face anything. The habits discussed here are not just ideas. They are tools that can help you navigate challenges, master your emotions, and build an unbreakable mindset. But knowledge alone is not enough. You must apply it daily. As you move forward, ask yourself, am I embracing change or resisting it? Am I in control of my emotions? Or do they control me? Am I protecting my time, taking responsibility, practicing self-compassion, and continuing to learn? These daily practices are what separate those who live with strength from those who crumble under life's weight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing growth. And most importantly, thank you for being a part of the Stoic journey. If you found value in this, don't stop here. Keep learning, keep evolving, and keep building the mindset that will carry you through anything. Stay strong, stay focused, and keep moving forward.